Hey, hey, does anybody hear me?
Hello.
I do.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay.
I'm not sure about latency.
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes, 10 seconds, kind of delay. Okay, so we're gonna start. Here we are, and here is our first conversation about the Open Metaverse project and design works around it, and design works that actually were like pretty predecessing to that actual project, and that's all a kind of also our test stream for our new cover for this streaming for some production works and stuff like that. And here we actually uh, have our two first, because I probably should explain what is Open Metaverse project. Uh, Actually,
Uh, I can't hear
I
you.
stopped hearing you guys.
uh,
No. Still.
So it's not only me who doesn't hear any sound.
okay. You hear me now? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still kind of test stream because we're testing some stuff, and it's kind of therapy for you and me, like to become better public speakers. But I believe you're already much better than me. So here we have Andrew and Parnav, uh, super cool designers doing 3D designs that you've just seen on the screen. And we're now talking about possible worlds, virtual worlds that can be built by those talented guys for Roborace, for the Metaverse project. So we call this initiative uh, Open Metaverse project, and we have around, like, I would say, like around 20 designers already that participate in that
Mm.
project. And most of those guys were doing some designs around Roborace idea previously through the last 5 years, I would say. And you already all have something to show us tonight. So before we start, could you please explain yourself? Well, for instance, we start with Parnav. Could you tell us what's your background and actually how you
Yeah.
actually came? What was your first time you've seen Roborace and how it was all evolved?
Um, so yeah, hello everyone. I'm Pranav Pisay. I'm from India. I just completed my master's in transportation design from Pune, MIT, India. So actually, I'm a big fan of Daniel Simon and his work, and also that's why I first saw his latest design, the Roborace design, and I think that was way ahead of time. This concept, like when I saw the supercars and sports cars, I think the main weakest link in that sports car is actually the man himself. If why would we require the overall like human body to like it's actually pushing behind that performance of the vehicle. So yeah, uh, that's why, and I actually like the overall concept. That's why I choose this as my thesis project. So yeah.
Okay, sounds very cool. And you, Andre?
Uh, so my name is Andrei. It's for me, it's very nice to be here and to have a chance to present my project. So I started to study car design in Moscow and finished it, and then since then I worked with a few different companies. And my project actually quite old. It dates back to 2016, so it's already 5 years old. And yeah, my the Daniel Simon, the first Roborace one, was a direct inspiration, and so but I didn't want to replicate this car. I tried to kind of with this logic, with this approach, to create something different, and I started to think from aerodynamics. Basically, the whole idea of this project is described on my first page uh, with the sketches. So it's like there is aerodynamic idea when you wing on of the airplane creates to up. So I flipped it upside down, made the main shape from this car, and to make this look of the car much cleaner without any spoilers, any without all this aerodynamic stuff. So I wanted to create the shape of the car, be some sort of wing itself to create downforce, uh, which push the car to the and basically I think the idea of robotic without any driver, and this idea was perfect match. So
Okay, okay. Seems like Andre, like kind of like slow connection. That's why we connect sometimes. Uh, but what I hear from your like from the both stories is that you are big fans of Daniel Simon, and you
Yeah.
were initially
And
for
also
Roborace.
Roborace also.
Okay, okay, and that where it all comes from. Okay, and what do you think, guys, about
Well, it
Roborace? It's
all started from Cosmic Motors book back in 2005.
oh, okay, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, and what do you think about Roborace itself and the whole idea and how it actually fits to the motorsport? You know, with this cabin-less concept, I would say, which is actually unfortunately not in the competition, but we're going to switch to it soon. Now we have to involve test drivers if you've seen the competitions, but soon we're going to switch to the cabinless cars. I believe as soon we are pretty much confident. So what would you think about the ultimate idea of robots?
Yeah, so actually, it's very fascinating. Like, just I said earlier, like, why we need a whole human body for a race car? Like, it actually pushes behind to a sports car. Like, uh, if we see the main less efficient thing in the sports car is a person himself. Like, uh, we require the safety things and other the norms we have to follow. If we remove that, we get a full potential of that sports car. So yeah, the this is the basic idea of Roborace, and it's very fascinating. I am very lucky, like I am here to like see what's going on in future for that Roborace.
Okay, nice, Andrew. Andrew, what do you think?
Uh, and I think it creates kind of the second wave for racing because I still think that the driver is one of the most important thing in the car when they race, and this just create another kind of races which create a new way to rethink the shape of the car, the way the teams compete, because it's more of the competition of the team for engineering teams, how they create the program software, as I understand, and then these cars compete between each other. So now we have only like there is a monoclass of races which only drivers compete, and Formula One races which drivers compete in the car depending on the level of the team. And here we can compete with the only teams, and it creates more possibility for designers to create the more crazy looks. It's kind of much outside from the automotive industry, somewhere to, I would say, like software, but to, to sci-fi, maybe to movies, somewhere to that direction. So it can be entertainment itself, even for those who don't really care about racing or cars.
Okay, okay. But before asking the next question, I will actually also say hello to our chat, and we've got like around 50 people watching us now. And guys, if you also have any questions, you are very welcome to ask questions or any comments, any kind of things. And my next question is, yeah, obviously we don't have in your concept and the ultimate concept of robots, we don't have a seat for a child. But were you ever thinking about maybe when you were just thinking over the whole concept of your particular versions of the robot car? Can there be a place for a passenger that is actually kind of like, person be having some kind of extreme experience while, of that being kind of like passenger of a racing car during the competition. What do you think about
So yeah, it's a very great idea. everyone like a F1 and other motorsports, but no one can actually experience in like that the cabin thing. So if we get the AI driver as a main driver, and we just put a like audience, anyone like audience on top of the car, so we can give it a full proper experience of that the motorsport thing. So yeah, I think this that's very fascinating for that guy who is actually top of the robocar.
Okay, because I can tell you a story. Because there was a conversation like years ago about possible concept of the Roborace, and there was a kind of crazy suggestion to have a cabin not for a driver but for a passenger, and
Yes, yeah,
they got the crazy suggestion was let's put the CEOs of those companies, and like Mercedes CEO, Renault CEO, and so on. So what if they participate in the race as passengers, and like putting them in danger of extreme driving, so they can present it like in a kind of extreme way how all the capabilities of their platforms.
yeah.
Okay, what would I suggest as the next thing? Because I understand you are not just mimicking the initial concept of Daniel Feynman, but you also put there in your concept some special features. So could you please like present in brief your concepts and like highlight some very specific features that your concepts have.
Uh, so can I start? Like,
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. Enough. You do
yeah.
start first.
So yeah, basically this is my thesis project, and with this project, I just trying to showcase the scenario of near future where the Roborace becomes more thrilling and advanced sport than ever before. So for the matching AI, the intelligence, I created this main concept like representing Mercedes. The main idea is to eliminate the weakest link of any race car, which is present today, which is human driver. But by the use of lightweight materials, advanced aerodynamics, and energy efficient technology, this car is trying to push the boundaries of a race car. So, as per the aesthetic point of view, it is based on the sensual purity concept, Mercedes sensual purity concept. So, which has the philosophy of balance between hotness and coolness. So, I take inspiration from the naked angel. So, for combining hotness factor, the sensual curves represent the feminine body of a form of a vehicle, where the coolness factor is achieved by aerodynamics. Uh, the wing like aerofins provided cool factor to the vehicle, which added aerodynamic stability to it. So yeah, that's actually my thinking behind my concept.
Okay, nice. And Andre, can you please tell more about the specifics, like super
Yeah,
special
sure.
feature?
Yeah. So I'd like to um, go again a little bit about my car. So mm, when I first saw uh, the actual rubber race car, I thought, okay, it's a cool idea to create this support race for Formula E cars, and but I thought, well, it's not really fair if it's going to be monoclass. So I imagined competitors for this car. For everyone, every company would participate in this race, and the car could look different. So that was my initial idea, and I started with this idea of, as I also already described, but aerodynamics. So I create this shape. So I did try to create the car looks like Roborace car, which looks like a aerodynamic tube with wheels attached to it. So I went a little bit different approach, and with some like cool elements. So the idea is a very simple aerodynamic form with a small detail which emphasizes this form or like some necessary stuff. And also another thing which I wanted to show is that actually this project is from 2016, where Renault had a different design style. When Patrick Leclerc left, and there was a Lawrence on his place. So, and Renault became this very soft, very nice car. So the design language changed completely. But I wanted to use that specifically design language from 10 years ago, which is like from mid 2000s, sometimes even from early 2000s, to show that actually it more depends not on the volume of the shape, not on the design language, but on the technologies and on the car. So this car actually looks quite modern even now, even though it uses design language from 20 years ago. So that also was my idea, to show that there is not such a thing like modern design or old design. It all depends on technology. So, I mean, with some sort of limitation, of course, but you still, like, what the car is more important. That, I mean, this car looks much more modern if we take 25 years car and wrap it in the very nice super modern surface. And that's why I think, well, this was kind of execution in this way.
Okay.
And I hope the result is kind of looks not bad. I hope.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is super gorgeous, actually. And what I have to say that we our idea is actually to try using your concepts as the models of so-called ghost cars that we're going to introduce later on as an element of the metaverse. So actual autonomous cars on the racetrack can race against those virtual cars, like they now do, like some maneuvering against static objects. On the next competition, actually, they're going to introduce dynamic objects on the track, and the ultimate goal of Season Beta is actually introducing the ghost cars, all based on your model. So, what do you think about the metaverse and all the opportunities that it opens to designers like you?
Well, I think it's great idea, and it's big grab for everyone who wants to see kind of their car in the movement. So it's like, it's really fascinating. And
So yeah, it's actually a dream come true. Our designs, we didn't think like it's just on a page or just on the 3D model, but looking on that track, it's very fascinating. Yeah.
Cool. And would you like
and
yeah, uh-huh.
I mean, the greatest thing actually, when I made this project, I did expect to end it up like this. So like 5 years later, guys from Roborace write me like, "Hello, would you like to share your project?" And that was something like unexpected. Like, I could imagine that I could share my project, which I was inspired by, in this project itself. So like, it's the best thing.
Yeah, the same here. Like,
Would you also like to do some more designs for instance, for the objects like boots and obstacles? Everything.
Not sure why not. Yeah.
yeah.
Cool, cool. So I'm looking forward to all those new designs, and actually, it's gonna be really great because we are super like we're welcome to all the crazy ideas because now we are trying to actually now we design all those objects by ourselves involving our like partner companies and so on. But if the metaverse becomes an open thing that is actually all those elements of this world are contributed by guys from all over the globe like you like super talents. That's my dream, and I'm gonna also make it true, and so we all gonna see it in a few months.
And actually, I'm like thinking about same for the Roborace platform. Like, if it open for the all the companies for software and as well as the vehicle companies like Mercedes and Nvidia and other things like automobile brands as well as the AI brand companies. So like I see the future like it's very also for the robotics aspect like if we create the autonomous pit crews and by using the companies like ABB and other robotics. So yeah, it's gonna be like a very great future ahead for the motorsport.
Definitely, because with such kind of ideas, we can actually run for years, without repeating the same things again and again. Because we can constantly evolve such kind of contribution and such kind of ideas. And my next question is: do you guys have your own questions about robots? Maybe you would like to know some more stuff so I can answer some any any question. Everything is allowed. Okay, please.
Actually, I have a big question about the metaverse itself because I didn't get the idea at first. So, is it right? Am I correct to understand that it is like the car goes in the real environment on the real track, and at the same time it goes in the virtual environment with the obstacles with the other car, and it kind of goes in some sort of computer game, and at the same time the car goes on the real track.
Exactly. Yes. So we actually technically it's kind of like both worlds being like blended into one. We actually use a precise version of GNSS to have very precise blend of those two worlds. So actually, yeah, the car runs in the real world, and at the same time, it's like digital twin runs in the virtual world. And then, production system we actually mix a video stream from the real world and certain rendered representation of the virtual world, which is rendered in Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
It actually gives
It's
the
like
idea that
a real-time
the
rendering.
Yeah.
I think it gives a really good idea that the world can be switched. So the car goes on one track, and if you like, you can create 2, 3 more universes, and you can switch between them.
Exactly, because the idea is probably to for instance, because technically, for instance, if we do an event on a certain racetrack, it's still the same like circuit. But actually, we can, for every round of, say, like different teams, like for each team, we can switch like another version of the metaverse. So it looks differently, but technically, it's all the same thing. I mean, from the vehicle dynamics kind of stuff. So we can actually make branded version of the metaverse for every team, so they can expose their sponsors somehow. Stuff like that. No technical limits actually. That's all possible.
And from the technical point of view, is there any different for software for engineers, like if it's going on the real environment or if it's just game environment? Is there any difference or it's all the same for software?
No, it's total difference because if we're talking about like you're saying game, which is like simulation actually, uh, there is no, unfortunately, there is no like perfect simulation at the present moment. So, the physics that are simulated in a game or in a professional simulator are significantly different, still significant, even if it's like pro simulated, it's still significant difference
Mm-hmm.
from the real world. So when our racing teams develop their software, they actually do that in simulator. But then, when their code appears in an actual racing car, it's like, I don't know how to like um, reincarnation thing, like so like been transferred from one body to another. And it's an interesting game because then this software should actually adapt to that new body, which is more complicated in terms of vehicle dynamics. And that's where is the key challenge to all these things. Because when their code is in an actual car, this code actually should adapt to more sophisticated, more real physics. Because in the simulator, the physics are much simpler. And
Uh, my
that's
question is like,
of course.
can we are going to see another design of a rover or something more like advanced?
Yes, that's a good question. Because we're now preparing a new vehicle platform, which is actually called Metaport. And it's a kind of like vehicle platform which actually allows introducing slightly different like bodywork and the show itself. So which actually opens an
Okay.
opportunity, yeah, for the teams to have their own kind of like special design features. And I wouldn't say like you can dramatically change the body. Of course, there's still some core part which is undercover, but you can play with the bodywork and the shell around the drivetrain and all these kind of components. So this platform is gonna be a thing to do with the
It's like a modular chassis for the different more modular components on it, like this kind of thing.
yeah.
That's good.
So probably in the next few years, you may bring your own real designs to race Roborace competition. Maybe some companies may implement your designs for their cars, their teams. Should be cool. So not just the
I think there's
metaverse.
gonna be a lot of guys who try.
Andrei, yeah, you're.
I think there are gonna be a lot of guys who would like to participate in this. Much more than 20 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's also going to be a competition, for the opportunities to design
Yeah.
a real. Yeah, you're right. Okay, do we have any questions from the chat? Let's take a look. Not yet. Okay. So, I think the audience should somehow warm up. Yeah, and, probably if we do a series of such conversations, probably people will just think over all this stuff and be more prepared for such kind of something, and maybe they will come with more questions next time. Do you guys have any other questions? Because we can like chat forever. I would like,
Usually any questions comes afterwards, after you digested everything, and then questions comes. So
yeah. So
now
you're,
it's
you're right, and that's why you're very welcome to all the further streams. Because now our intention is to start streaming like every week, discussing
mhm.
various topics around Roborace. So there's a constant opportunity to come to our meet and talk about stuff. So of course, maybe tonight you'll have like super bright colors that you want to talk about in public next time. So yeah, you're very welcome.
Also, like, is Roborace only for like wheeled vehicles, or if they're like you are thinking about like drones and water sports kind of thing?
Actually, I'm not saying often, but sometimes people actually ask us about that. Now we are mostly focused, it's still a complicated development for us, to develop the vehicle platform and the elements around it, and very strict infrastructure and stuff like that. Because, of course, we are now mostly concentrated on the wheel vehicles. But potentially, of course, this platform can be expanded to drones. I don't know. Because there are some other competitions with drones, but my dream is maybe some vessels and some some underwater stuff.
Or maybe combinations of two of these, like
Yeah,
start with water and it
yeah.
goes on the road and then fly like.
Exactly. Actually, I should say that with the Metabot project, we're gonna make a kind of like step to like multidiscipline, because the Metabot is gonna be like crossover vehicle capable for not just the race tracks, professional circuit, but also for going on the real off-road kind of stuff, like gravel roads and stuff like that. So yeah, that's our first step towards doing more versatile racing.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got the first question in the chat. Can someone AZ13 Gaming asked us, can someone tell me what this is? This is Roborace. We're talking about design concepts around Roborace. Roborace is actually but the world's first competition of the autonomous racing cars. So we are here in the world of racing robots together with us. Okay, it looks like that's it for today. I think for the beginning it's good enough to start, and we're going to come back next week, and probably if this format appears to be really really interesting for the audience, we're going to switch like maybe a couple 3 times a week, and we'll see. And I wish you all the best, guys, and I'm looking forward to being here back on the screen. And next time we will have 2 other designers of those things mentioned today, and we are also talking about the metaverse design concepts, the cars, the metaverse objects, and things like that, and super crazy ideas. So stay with us, stay tuned, and Roborace is here with you to tell everything about that on the racing cars and the future of the competitions. Have a nice day.
I'd like as well to thank you once again.
Thanks, Mike.
It's been a pleasure. It's been great. Thank you.
Many thanks.
So it was nice to participate in this. Sorry for connection issues.
We can divide the many worlds around us into either real or virtual. How these two can merge together has become one of the key questions of the 21st century. Whether it's a head-up display in a pair of glasses showing you the way home, or a group of people meeting up online as VR avatars of themselves, we are constantly fusing ourselves into these different worlds. Roborace is launching into this blend with their own metaverse. New for Season Beta, Roborace has the ability to create virtual objects, events, and conditions on track, which the real-life autonomous cars will have to adjust to whilst racing. These might be walls to avoid or tokens to collect. They could be weather conditions the cars must consider, or boost points that allow a real-life increase in speed. They can even be virtual cars suddenly appearing on track to compete against. The groundbreaking element of this all-new software platform is that it allows you, the viewer, to see these virtual objects and conditions on track together with the race cars in real time. So you're able to see what the AI driver is experiencing and how it chooses to react. The next stage of the metaverse is allowing you, the audience, to challenge the AI drivers. You'll be able to place the virtual objects, change the conditions, and directly influence the competition. You can play the race.